Welcome to our series, Moving America Forward. Each week we'll be focusing on America's entrepreneurs as they take us to new roads, new opportunities, new ways to fill the gaps left by today's failing companies. Our series will be looking at that and a lot more. So come with me and watch as the entrepreneurs of our nation move into the future.
And I'm Doug Llewelyn here in our studio in Los Angeles with our guest today, who happens to be the president and the CEO of a company called Tangible Investments, which is located in Laguna Beach, California. You may have heard of them. And our guest is a very well-known man. He is one of the most distinguished numismatists and all-around experts in the American rare coin market. I think you're going to find him fascinating to hear from. I'd like you to meet him right now. His name is Silvano DiGenova. Sil, welcome. Nice to have you with us.
Nice to be here.
Am I doing all right?
You're doing just great.
Very good. You know, before we begin this fascinating story, a little while ago you had a chance to answer some questions from William Shatner. Let's take a look at a brief portion of that right now and see how it went. Okay? Let's watch.
It's not easy to succeed in today's competitive world. Describe for me, briefly, what it is you do and why you think you've been successful. And does that have anything to do with moving America forward?
Mr. Shatner, our business is providing tangible investments. We personally customize investments in precious metals, rare coins, jewelry, fine art for individuals looking to diversify their financial portfolios and have been doing so since 1977. We strive to provide the best values and opportunities to our clients and have achieved over $2 billion in transactions. And that, Mr. Shatner, is how we are helping to move America forward.
You know, I find what you do really fascinating. How did all of this begin for you, Sil?
Well, I grew up in a pretty humble family. So early on, I was looking for ways to make money. And I was quite the young entrepreneur, from delivering newspapers, collecting tin cans, working on the Italian market. And early on, I located some old coins as I was collecting money, for the newspaper route.
Right.
And I was fascinated with them. I got some books, some albums, and began learning about the subject and found very quickly that I could actually buy and sell these things amongst my friends. And from this,
you're described as a child prodigy in this rare coin field, which is pretty amazing.
Well, I had my first booth at a major convention at 14 years old.
How about that?
And have been trading since 10.
Well, let's take a look at some of the things you can. By the way, Tangible Investments, this is a store, actually, where people can go in and look at these various rare items that you have, and not just coins either. It's jewelry, it's watches and things like that, and purchase them. But you also buy these things on the open market as well, right?
Yes, we travel literally all over the world, and we bid in auctions, estate sales, everywhere. On the internet, people bring to us. Literally, it's an international market.
All right, so let's take a look. We're going to get some close shots now of some of these. These are some of the rare coins that are from your facility, your store. You're going to have to talk to me and tell me the value of this. What are we looking at?
That is a silver dollar from 1796. That's only 2 years after the first year that they made a silver dollar, 1794. That particular one is nearly mint condition, and it is housed in a PCGS holder, right, valued about $25,000.
Wow. And it's old. It's very old. All right, we're going to go right on through these. Here, let's see what this one is.
The next one is
coin.
A $10 gold piece from 1803. America's first $10 gold piece was struck in 1795. This is a very choice mint example, worth about $65,000.
What makes it so valuable?
Well, all early gold coins are very rare. All early coins prior to, say, 1830s are very, very rare. But the reality is, as early as 1834, the value of the gold in that coin surpassed the value, its face value. So most of them were melted. Not to mention that $10 at that time was an extraordinary amount of money for someone to set aside and preserve a coin. It probably belonged to somebody wealthy. It could have even been Thomas Jefferson's coin.
For heaven's sakes, how about that? Yeah, here's another. This is a big one. This is heavy.
Now, this is really a fascinating coin because this is a coin from the gold rush. This is actually a $50 gold coin. Back in 1849 and for several years, there was a tremendous shortage of coinage. So that was made by a private minter authorized by the U.S. government, and they're very rare. In mint condition, those can sell for over $200,000. That particular one, well used, is still worth over $40,000.
Well, it's a beautiful coin. It's hard to see why it wouldn't be worth $200,000. I mean, it's pretty impressive. This is something else that you sell plain gold, don't you?
Yes, we buy and sell all forms of precious metals. And this is a kilo bar. So, you know, that's quite a bit of gold, about 40,000 in round numbers on today's market.
$40,000. Yes. And it's very heavy.
It certainly is.
Yeah. Now, people come to you to buy gold?
We sell a tremendous amount of gold, silver, platinum, occasionally some other metals, but those primarily.
Are these bought for investment purpose, the coins, the gold bars? What's the reason?
The rare coins are split evenly between collectors and investors, although most collectors tend to think that they're going to buy a good investment. Collectors tend to know a little bit more. Investors, they're looking for the return. And rare coins have done phenomenally. As a matter of fact, since 1970, rare coins have outperformed the Dow Jones by 3.5 to 1.
You're kidding.
No. And the reality is they are a lot less volatile. There are very few crashes. I mean, in the last 100 years, there's been 20 stock market crashes. In all of those instances, gold has actually held its value or gone up. For example, this last crash, the stock market went down 52% during the housing bubble crash.
Right.
During that time period, gold actually went up more than 50%.
So this really is a very good investment. I mean,
absolutely. Long-term, rare coins, gold have been excellent investments.
Here's another item that you carry a lot of this. This is heirloom jewelry. Do you buy these at estate sales, I guess?
We generally buy them from estates, from auctions, and private parties. And we try to select the finest jewelry. And the key to our business is we provide value. I mean, the average jeweler is marking these things up 100 to 300%, in some cases even more. Some of the big name jewelers are charging 10 times the actual product value.
Right.
In our case, we mark up our jewelry 10 or 20%. We go and find the best possible materials, and we sell. The one you're holding is an actual 1920s Art Deco piece. And the reality is that these Art Deco pieces have been appreciating almost like the rare coins.
What would the value of this be?
That one is about a $20,000 piece.
And it's just loaded with diamond. Was this made by anyone we would know?
Unfortunately, not this particular one. Had that been Cartier or Tiffany, one of the big names, that'd probably be in excess of 6 figures.
Wow.
And the brand name early pieces are bringing a lot of money.
Here's another example of diamond jewelry. Now let me hold this up so you can get a real shot. This is one extraordinary piece.
Yeah, so this is over 20 carats in fine, high-quality diamonds. Now this is a modern piece, and this is the thing where we can really save you some money. A piece like that in a fine jewelry store, $125,000. In our place, we sell it as low as $30,000.
Why such a difference?
Because the reality is we're buying on. Not only buying wholesale, but we're actually sometimes buying in distress sales.
Yeah.
At most major auctions, the collector or the public, they can't make up their minds that quickly. So it's basically dealers, and we're buying it at a distressed price. And a lot of times in an estate sale, people need to sell quickly, and you can get an opportunity.
You've pointed out that you will also create jewelry from the diamonds and the gems that you have in your stock. You have diamond designers who will create necklaces?
Absolutely. We have some expert people, so we can go out and buy the diamonds on the wholesale market at a value price, and then we'll manufacture for you. We can custom make things, and again, we're used to doing $500,000 transactions to make $1,000 or $2,000 in gold. So for us to make 10, 15% in jewelry, we're happy to do it. But most jewelers would never think of doing that.
You're absolutely right. Here's something else. This is a Rolex watch. It's an extraordinary watch.
Yeah,
this is an example. You have all kinds of watches.
Yeah, we stock many watches and many of the top brand names: Rolex, Cartier, Patek Philippe. That particular watch is about $37,000 retail. Now, this is a mint condition used watch that the average person would never know the difference between this watch and a new watch. And our price, $16,000, less than half price.
It's like the ad says for Patek Philippe, but you never really own it. You're just taking care of it for the next generation.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing here,
and
right?
Rolex and Patek and Cartier
Yeah.
and many others are really great heirlooms that once you buy something at a price that's fully depreciated, okay, it does move up in value. I mean, for example, we recently sold what's called a Paul Newman Rolex, and it's actually a stainless steel watch that he bought a watch like this. There were many of them made.
Right.
For only a few $1,000s today, $100,000 for a used stainless Rolex from the 60s, the Paul Newman model.
It wasn't owned by him. It was just a Paul Newman model.
Yeah, well, he made it famous by wearing it on multiple occasions.
Interesting. Well, your stories, I mean, the story of your business is really quite fascinating. And people come to you and they can go online. You have a website where a lot of this is listed?
Our website is very simple, www.go.coins, C-O-I-N-S. However, we do much more than just coins. As you said, precious metals, fine jewelry. We also handle fine arts and decorative arts. We're the largest dealers in Tiffany lamps, fine art glass on the West Coast.
Do you find that people will buy this kind of heavy material, not heavy, but I mean high-end material online without actually holding it and looking at it?
We do sell some very high-end material online. When I was running auctions online, we once sold a coin for over $100,000 online. Today, people do have confidence in the net. The key is, though, you have to be someone that is accredited.
And you are.
Yeah, exactly.
You're also referenced in the Guinness Book of World Records. What was that?
Well, in 1999, a very famous collector, trumpeter, Ed Trumpeter, put together the greatest collection of what's known as proof, special issue coinage, from the 1860s all the way to 1915. When he passed away, there was some issue with the heirs, and the IRS confiscated it. We were involved in buying it, and it became the largest and most expensive private treaty collection ever. And I was the appraiser and valuer of this collection.
Fascinating story. Sal, you're an amazing guy. Thank you so much for talking to us.
You're very welcome, Doug. Thanks for having me.
Now it's my honor to present this prestigious award to Silvano DiGenova, the CEO of Tangible Investments of Laguna Beach, California, for the outstanding work his firm is doing to help keep moving America forward. Sil, it's a pleasure to give this to you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor.
That's it for another edition of Moving America Forward. I'm Bert Tenzer. Join us again as we continue to bring you the entrepreneurs who move America forward.
I'm William Shatner, and for all of us at Moving America Forward, thanks for watching.